Hey, beautiful vloggers. I'm Kim. Be sure to check out the video description box below this video so that way you can get some video timestamps as well as give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for the latest uploads. So today I am going to be recapping / reviewing Growing Up Hip Hop Atlanta Season 1 Episode 5. The title is called Watch Me Flip with the F, Watch Me Nay Nay. And if you watch this show, you know who this is catered to. And, I will say this about this episode. It was kind of boring in the beginning. The drama didn't happen until the end, but that's how it always has to be. So this episode was filled with fillers until they can get to that part. So it starts off with Miss Debs because it left off with Miss Debs meeting with Bow's father. So they're having a sit down, and she knows that Bow is going to be a little bit disappointed, when it comes to when she has to tell him, like, I met with your father and I want you to meet, I want you to meet with him too, that kind of thing. But she's meeting with the father, and, I guess she's been in Bow's shoes, and she wishes that her father was still alive. I guess she said even something about her kids grew up without fathers, and she felt bad or whatever about that situation. And I guess Val is like all the other children in Atlanta, is like a nephew or daughter or niece to Miss Deb. So she's always been that way for as long as I knew Miss Debs, even from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. She's always the one that's trying to sit down and bring everyone together. So that's what she's doing in this particular series and season. She's trying to make amends with Bow and his father. And apparently he hasn't seen his father in 4 years. And his father is ready to have a sit down with him, whether it goes which way or another. He, even knows, well, Miss Debs was telling him that, he's hesitant to sit down with you and meet with you. But at first it seemed like he was trying to put the blame on Bow, like, how he didn't really help him with his problem, and he didn't offer any type of, help, maybe sending him to rehab or something like that. But truly, is that Bow's fault that you're an alcoholic? Like, I don't know. That's just my opinion, but maybe he did try to help him at one point, and his father didn't want help. So you never know with that situation. So, but anyway, I'm sorry if y'all hear thunder. It's lightning really, really bad outside where I'm at, and it's kind of late, and it's like thundering like crazy. Anyway, so she's basically saying you can't put the blame on Bow, and how he put the bottle up before his own son. So you got to expect him to be hesitant to meet with you. And, hopefully they do sit down. More than likely, how these shows have it with the drama, they more than likely will sit down. But I'm wanting to see how that goes, because Miss Debs is planning to have a meeting with it too, and she kept saying marinate. I'm gonna let this sit and marinate. I'm gonna let this sit and marinate or whatever. So anyway, Bow's at home, and he's FaceTiming with his daughter and Joie, and his daughter Shy. I don't know why I thought her name was Cheyenne, but maybe it's short for Cheyenne, but I thought that was a very, very cute name. So he's asking to see if they can come visit him in Atlanta, because he seems to have lost focus. He's not really driven like he thought he would be since he's moved to Atlanta. He misses his daughter like crazy. And so at first, Joy is like, no, we're not coming to visit because it's not going to work around my schedule. Plus, Shy is in school. But eventually she's like, okay, well, I'll make it work. They're going to come over, I guess, on a weekend, so that way he could spend time with both of them. And so at that same time, after he got off the phone with them, or even before he got on the phone with them, I think it was before, Jermaine Dupri was texting him like, hey, where are you? I'm at the studio. You need to be here. And he said, I'm sorry, I'm running late. I'll be there soon. So he shows up at the studio. Jermaine Dupri is no longer there, but Brat is there, and she is just going off like how he's 2 hours late, how he's not, she's impatient. You don't hold people up for like 2 hours in the studio time, and how, he's not focused. He's out partying, and she just went on him. She went off on him for a little while. And, he's talking about he had writer's block. which is understandable because I'm a writer and I get like that myself too. Like sometimes I'm not focused to write at that very moment. It's hard to write something and when you're not feeling it. So he feels like he needs his family, which is Joy and Shy, to come visit him to give him some inspiration. But the Brat is, in the very beginning of the season, they wanted him to move to Atlanta to keep him focused. But Bow was out going to strip clubs. He was out partying. Well, he had his launch party, so he had to attend that. But I'm just saying he's just out, going to hotels and just different things that he's been doing that's been distracting him, which I get as an artist sometimes it could be hard. But anyway, she just like you just full of excuses and you're spoiled and just she I love the Brat and she's real. But she also brings up the Reginae and Brandon B for a quick second, but then she moves on to going back off on him. But Val in his interview was like, maybe I should retire. Dude, yo, I was about to say your colleagues, but your mentors haven't even really fully retired yet. So why are you trying to retire? You're just not focused, and it's okay. But you just got to get back, folks. You got to find out what your motivation is to get focused, and I guess that's what he's trying to do right now. So anyway, I'm hoping I don't pronounce her name wrong, but I always want to call her Ayana. So hopefully I'm saying her name right because I have a cousin named Anya and she spells it the same way Ayana spells her. So Ayana and Bow are talking on the phone, and Bow is saying bringing up Brandon at going to Reginae's 18th birthday party. And he's like, I know there's beef between them, but maybe they can work out their differences. But Ayana is like, I don't think that's a good idea. Because the last time they were in a room together, it was about to go to blows. So, and of course, she called her mom and his mom, had a little one-on-one talk in the beginning of last episode, ending the last episode before that one. So, you got you got moms involved with that drama. So she's like, I don't think that's a good idea. But he wants them to squash the beef before it gets crazy in the streets and in the industry business because Wayne is a powerful figure in hip hop. But he doesn't want Reginae to know about the plan, so he's telling Ayana to keep her mouth shut, like don't mention anything to Reginae about him coming to the birthday party, keep it a secret for now. But she already knows. She's like, it's gonna go bad fast. I already know it, but I guess she's down. Maybe she wants to see the drama unfold herself. So, what was I gonna say about that? Because let's not get into it because like I said, they had so many fillers, in this episode, and the drama was at the end. So hopefully I can remember on the top of my head because she was like clearly in the middle once again, like the other time they had an altercation. But anyway, Miss Debs goes to the studio. I guess she was looking for Bow Wow because he was supposed to be in the studio, but he left. And the Brat's still there. She's like, no, he's not here right now. So, Miss Debs was telling the Brat how I was gonna call her Miss Bow Wow. He was telling the Brat. Miss Debs was telling the Brat. There we go. That she met with Bow Wow's father, and the Brat is like, oh no, I see where this is going. And she's like, listen, he is so not focused right now, and that's gonna be one more thing that's gonna cause him not to focus because he's already struggling getting his music out in the studio. And she's explaining the reasons. Miss Debs is explaining the reasons why she wants them to meet. Like maybe if he hashes things out with his father, maybe that would help him be more focused. But yeah, right. And then so she's going on talking about that. Let me just go ahead and hurry up this episode because the end was good. So once again, Miss Debs bring up marinate. I'm gonna let this marinate. So then the Brat is like, well, while you marinate, I'ma saute it. And then after they sit up here talking about marinate something and sauteing something, the Brat's like, you want to go get something to eat? So they go ahead and go get something to eat. And I'm like, oh my God. Y'all gotta bring up food. And I ain't even ate yet. I literally came home and pressed record to watch this doggone show to get started on this video. I haven't even eaten yet, so they sitting up here talking about food. Mm. But anyway, Joey and Shy come to visit Bow, and he's like, maybe this is, like I said before, maybe this is what I need to get focused in the studio. And he said something to Joey where she commented and said, well, he said he's only been in the studio one time since he's moved down there. Now, I'm not sure how long he's been living down there from this point since the show started, but even if it's been a month, he's only been to the studio one time. Even if it's been a week, and you said you're going down, if you're moving to Atlanta to work, you should be in the studio more than one time. So she's thinking something must be going on with his focus because he does a lot of talking and he doesn't back it up with his actions. So she mentioned that to him, and I thought that was real talk because sometimes we all get into that where we talk about what we're gonna do, what we want to do, and we don't follow through with it. So sometimes maybe it's best if we just write it down and not talk about it. That's a good thing to do. Maybe we should get some notebooks. I got a notebook right here, write my goals down, what I want to do, and then follow through with it. Because sometimes I'll talk it out and then I'll forget what I said the next day. So anyway, Brandon, because this was boring, Brandon comes to Miss Debs. I'm not the biggest Brandon fan at all, so I'm gonna speed through any parts of him except for the end. Brandon and Miss Debs were sitting in, well, he was sitting down in the not the kitchen but at the table, and he was telling her how he wants to present a showcase for some artists that are coming up, a couple of artists that we kind of are familiar with. They're I don't want to say underground, but they're not really popular, but they're getting there, and he wants to step out of her shadow, but she kind of feels like he's not ready to get put out there yet, but you know, and he wants it done within a week from that day. And she's just like, I don't think you're ready, but she doesn't want to see him fail because that means she's failed. She mentioned that. And then of course he said, I'll see you at the top, Debbie, or da 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 da. Like he get on my nerves. And then she said, well, she looked at a list of artists and she said, well, I don't see Zonique's not on here. And of course that's because Zonique fired him. And but he did say that he wants his mom on the panel. We gonna see how that goes because I saw the previews for next week and it looked like she called him out, and I'm glad she did. And I'm sick of talking about Brandon right now. But anyway, moving back on to Bow Wow and Joey, he has a romantic dinner set up at the house, and he said that he does his best work when it comes to being with Joey, and I guess they weren't together. I was under the impression that they were trying. Well, I was under the impression that they were trying to get back together. Maybe they weren't together, but they were working on it. But he's saying that he wants to pursue another relationship with her, and she sees that he's growing up because he even mentioned he was still childish in some very much ways or whatever. But she mentioned that he's impulsive once again, and she doesn't want to get hurt because of his actions and what he does, like what he was doing on social media, like taking pictures of girls in the beds, and the fact that he's I don't know, like, I don't know what's going on between their relationship, but I know that, they kind of went back and forth for a minute, and it seems like he wants to be with her, but it seems like she still thinks that he has some growing to do, and she's just like, no, I'm not ready. So I guess that caused the shots of them getting back together because he said, well, I'm not going to, keep pursuing it then. So then we move on to Reginae getting ready for her party, and Zonique was texting her to see if her dad is going to be there. Now her dad is going to be at the party, but she didn't. She doesn't. Zonique was trying to figure out if her dad knew about Brandon, and so she said that Reginae texted her back, maybe at the party she'll tell him about the comment that Brandon made, but she hasn't mentioned it to him yet. And then Toya comes in. I love Toya. I'm a big Toya fan. I'm gonna say that in every video, but I am a big Toya fan, and she's not that much older than me. And I'm like, goodness gracious, like we look young for our age, okay? I get it. And the way she was like dancing in the mirror, she had that plastic skirt up, and she's like, I can dance and like shaking her butt. And Reginae like, what are you shaking back there? Like their little relationship, you could tell like they're really good friends as well as mother and daughter. But like I said last episode, like how can you say your mother doesn't care anything about you when everything is about you? Well, right, well, right. Anyway, Reginae goes through the list of because Toya wanted to know who all she was inviting to a dinner. So there was a dinner before a party. Get it? So Reginae goes over the list of people that's coming. It's like JD's daughter. I can't remember. Jermaine Dupri's daughter. I can't remember her name off the top of my head right now. And I know Zoni gonna be there. Neek Neek. Bow's gonna be there. I think she said Ayana's gonna be there. I'm not for sure, but then she mentioned Brandon, and then she was clearly joking about it because Toya was like Brandon, and she's like, I'm joking. He's not invited, and blah blah blah. And then because she was like, because Toya was like, I don't want there to be any drama at extra dinner, an extra party. I want you to have a good time, and she don't think it's a good idea that Brandon should be there. So it moves on to Brandon again. And I'm gonna go by that real quick because he was doing a rehearsal with the artist, and the way he was talking to them, it was a rehearsal for his showcase, I guess. And he was saying something about if Zonique was here, she needs to grow up if she wants to be successful. Clearly, he says she needs to grow the fuck up because if she wants to be successful. Like, why are you even worried about her at this point? You still lingering on the fact that she fired you and she wants to hire your mother as a manager. Like, you, boy, you a stepping stone. Like, like he says that he wants to be out of his mom's footprints, but clearly, like, your mom, I for a fact, even if he worked, I don't know, I would feel more comfortable working with his mother than working with him. Because the way, at least she's more professional. She's worked with Gucci, she's worked with Nicki, she's worked with Waka. We see how their careers are doing. And who the fuck have you worked with? Excuse my French, but who have you worked? I don't even know who you work with. Just like how Reginae was saying, who are you? Who are you? And who you work with? Who have you worked with? So anyway, he's going off at the mouth at some of the artists. Like, well, I don't think you're ready. Just whatever. I kind of like fast forwarded that part because the way he was looking, like he wasn't, like he wants to be in charge, and he's not amazed or I don't know, like he's just one of them tough critics, and he's just a. Sometimes I feel like he's a waste of air on this show. I know that sounds so mean, but I'm just gonna keep it real. I am not a Brandon fan, just by the way he talked about, just stuff. But anyway, at the dinner, it's at Reginae's 18th birthday dinner. It's at a hotel, and so it's Bao, Zonique, JD's daughter is sitting at the table, and Reginae is she's filling Bow Wow in about what happened between her and Brandon the last time they saw each other. And at the same time, she's explaining to him about his little comment about I'm the person who could have helped your father's career and Black Lives Matter and all that type of stuff. At the same time, she's explaining that they're filming Brandon and Ayana getting in the car, and they're in the car and they're talking about how Brandon no, Brandon asked Ayana if Reginae knows he's coming. She clearly like flat out lied. She said, yeah, she knows. Your cousin is wrong. Like she put you in a trap and then gotta complain that she's always in the middle or something. Like you in a trap, girl. So anyway, at this dinner, Reginae is talking about Brandon's comment, how he could help the father's career, and then look who and how she just doesn't want to see Brandon again, and then look who shows up, Yana and Brandon, and he's going around hugging everybody at the table, and it looked like he was offering Reginae a hug, and Reginae was like a little hesitant. It looked like she was gonna give him a hug too, but then she's like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. It looked like she was gonna give him a hug though. It was kind of awkward. But then she kind of dives right in of why are you here? I kind of want an apology, and he's saying, well, the way I said it is the way I said it, and you took it whatever kind of way. You said something disrespectful. You said I'm the person that can help your father's career. You're disrespectful, dude. Like, if somebody, even if I wasn't like close to my father, I probably would have, went all in on him too. But at the end of the day, he didn't apologize to her. And Bow is in the interview, like when they have a little interview, he's like, man, just say sorry. Just say sorry. Just apologize and move on, because he doesn't want anything to go bad. And she gets upset. She kind of was like going at him like, well, I'm a grown woman now. I'm going to act like a woman and, walk away, I guess, from this situation. And he's going in at the mouth on her, and she's going back, but she walks away. She goes to the elevator, and then she calls. He kept interrupting her, so that's what made her walk away. And she calls. Well, no, she didn't call. It looked like she was probably texting her cousins and her mom, and I guess they wasn't coming fast enough. So she goes upstairs and tells Toya about Brandon and what he was saying about, not what he was saying, but just, like how he just showed up. And they wasn't expecting him to show up, but you guys already know reality TV nowadays. They want you to make sure they want you to make sure you tune in like it's going to be an actual fight that goes down, because I thought in this episode that Little Wayne, I remember seeing dreadlocks. I remember seeing dreadlocks, but I forgot Lil Wayne's dreadlocks are blonde now. So that was her cousins. And they're all getting on the elevator. She's screaming, going off and telling Toya about Brandon, just bringing up the conversation again. Who are you? I don't even know who you are. And you got the nerve to talk about my dad and blah, blah, blah. And Bow was trying to escort him out. Like, okay, we got to get him out of here. I don't want Wayne to come in. And Bow was just like trying to get him out of there. Like, come on, we got to go. And, but he didn't leave. They were, I guess, in a hallway in a back corner somewhere. And Ayana was like in the middle once again. She's like this little short woman. And this tall, grown, supposed to be man is behind her. And he's like, well, I forgot where he said he was from, Jamaica, Queens, or something like that. But I know I have relatives here. I got relatives all over the place, but they don't even act nowhere near how he acts. You know what I'm saying? Like, he acts like a big old baby to me as a grown man. Like, you are still in your mom's footsteps. Like, and I don't even know if you still live with your mom. Like, he probably still lives with mommy. At his age, we're going to say that's where he lives, even though I don't know if it's true or not. I'm just spreading a lie and a rumor, but I don't care because I don't like him. But I get Reginae doesn't want this person there because he made her feel uncomfortable at her own birthday. I'm not going to say party, but it was a birthday dinner because the party was clearly going to be after the dinner. It was just like a little intimate dinner with her and her friends. Which I'm pretty sure this is the one thing. This can't be this girl's only friends. Like, these are just people that are just filming this show. But where's her other? Because she has other friends. You see them on like these social media websites. But anyway, whatever. So Reginae is on the elevator. They get off the elevator. Toya goes over there and talks to Brandon. Gets right up in his face because she's gonna do anything she can to defend her daughter. In which I get that. And they kept showing Wayne like he was going to walk in at any time, but it looked like he was walking into a party at another place. You know what I'm saying? I don't know until next episode if he actually is going to be at the hotel. I'm not for sure, but I'm thinking that he is walking into another place. Like, so I'm not gonna say they missed each other, but the way that they edited out, it looks like that he's not at that location. So we just gonna put it out there that maybe it's a good thing because even though I don't like Brandon and he does deserve his ass whooped, I wouldn't necessarily, I don't know, want to see Wayne do that. he was talking about him, and I'm the person that can help your father's career. So let me ask you this, Brandon, like you watching this video, but let me ask this question. Who have you worked with? Who's the artist that you worked with? Because you are mentioning artists that are coming to be artists, or they're artists now, but they may have just got signed or whatnot. Who are these legends that you've worked with? I would like to know. Or are you talking about people that your mother has worked with? So I would like to know that question. So anyway, it leaves off there. So I guess we have to wait until next week to see if Brandon's gonna get his ass whooped by Toya, because she from Noya, she can get down, and or are these cousins of Reginae is gonna step in and beat him up too, or if Lil Wayne's gonna actually do it. I guess we're gonna have to figure out next week, right? Because I just hate how they stretch this whole episode out. Like, get to the good stuff. So, and they always leave it at the end, and I was kind of upset about that, but we get it, and I'm pretty sure next episode, Miss Debs is probably gonna be sitting down with Bow Wow talking about how she wants him to sit down with his father. So that's gonna be another roller coaster of emotions there. So I don't know, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below about what you thought about Watch Me Flip, Watch Me Nay Nay. Because I thought it was okay. It's just it could have been, they could have just dove right into the drama. That would have, kind of helped. But it is what it is. So let me go ahead and end this here. I gotta get on to get my food because I'm a little hungry right now. So I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye bye.
Thank you for coming to Writer's Vlogs. In the description box, you'll find links to our social media, blog, and anything else you need to know. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Mwah!